Yep, that's the type of podcast it's going to be today. Welcome to the Quick Start Formula 1 podcast. My name is Nyasha, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and co-founder, Thandie. Hi, Thandie. How's it going?
Great, great Sunday.
Good. Yeah, look, it's been an epic Sunday.
Fantastic Sunday.
Absolutely fantastic. And look, speaking of fantastic, is our guest today. Look, let me tell you, this girl is part of the FSeries. This girl, she was on stage at Silverstone on her hosting day. It's mad. one of the F1 content creators on the planet.
Wow,
that is some hype.
Yeah, none other than AllAboutSteF1. Steph, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Yeah. I'm buzzing to be on the pod today with you guys. I feel like we've got such a good race to talk about as well. Like, I'm buzzing.
I beg you give Steph the round of applause, please.
I did. I just did. I did.
Oh, we didn't hear it. No, sorry.
Off, Steve.
I'll give more. There's 3 rounds of applause just for you. That is the most, and look, it's all deserved. Where do we start? I'm literally absolutely flabbergasted. Look, no better place to start than actually scratch that. Steph, before we get into the race, I just want to bring something up as a customer service kind of thing from the blog. A couple of things. One, follow us, subscribe to the channel, all of that. I always forget to say at the beginning of the video. Say at the end when no one's watching. Do it now, okay? Subscribe now. Follow us on Twitter. We just got to 250 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you very much.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be nice. I will actually publicly thank you if you do so. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Go run and do it.
Actually brings me to my next point. Well, Thandie, Steph, I don't know if you know yet, Thandie was acting very stush this week. Yeah, I'll tell you now. Thandie posted some pictures on Twitter. Okay, looking nice. Okay, she got some traction on it. People are commenting, babe, you look beautiful, babe, stunning. Yeah,
the simps are out.
No, the simps are out. But you know what? Even better. It wasn't even just simps. It was the women. Women were saying, "Wow, Thandie, you look great," and that's what we love. We love seeing women uplifting each other.
She a bad bee. Don't see a lie.
Look. None of us are denying that in the slightest.
Right.
Thandie was wearing a very cool Lewis Hamilton t-shirt, yeah?
That I'm wearing right now.
That she's wearing right now, yeah? Everyone, comment after comment. Where did you get this t-shirt? Where did you get this t-shirt? You know what Thandie done, Steph? She aired everyone.
Right. Okay. Here is my explanation. Okay. Here is my explanation. Guys, I'm not gatekeeping the Lewis Hamilton tee. Guys, I'd love to tell you where it's from. But there's 2 things. First of all, it was a gift. And it wasn't a gift from anyone.
It was gifted.
It was gifted. And it was a gift from
Spit out.
A sneaky link.
There you go.
Well, I will get back to you on where it's from. I'll get back to you.
Thandie said, "You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You don't know where it come from." Okay, so all of the.
I do want a Yuki Tsunoda one, so I'm gonna look for them, and I will give you a great link. I promise.
Okay.
Don't hold your breath, guys. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to make sure because some of the fans might have been like thinking, "Wow, Thandie's stuck."
Yeah, I'm not a bitch. I promise. I'll tell you where everything's from. I promise.
Yeah.
But this one top, I knew people were gonna ask, and I was just like, "Please do not ask me." I beg you don't ask me.
let me tell you now. They asked. I nearly texted Thandie to be like, look, could you get back to these people?
Could you get back to the girls?
You're making us look awful right now.
Shout out all the girls who were so nice to me about it, man.
If I ever went on Twitter, I'd be nice as well. But I don't.
Yeah. I love all the girls on the quick stop Twitter because they're just the
Shout
best.
Out to you all.
Yeah, man. The best gals.
But look, Thandie Stushness aside, there was actually a Formula One race today. I mean, quickly, Steph, where does this race rank for you this season?
This has got to be the best race so far, all season. And we've had some fantastic races this season. Like, we have been spoiled with good races. But this is one of the best races I think I've ever watched as a Formula One fan. I don't even know if that's hyping it up too much, but oh my God, like, I was watching it the entire way through. Do you know what? I actually thought I was going to be able to have a nap during this race. I was like, it's going to be easy. It's going to be no overtaking. I was like, it's going to be a nice chill Sunday for me. No. Valtteri Bottas said no. He was like, you will pay attention. You will watch this race. You will see the chaos that I have caused. And I did. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I don't think I could have described it any more succinctly. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
I love a little nap during the race, and let me tell you now, I was not afforded the time whatsoever. Absolutely crazy race. Thandie, describe the first lap crash, first corner crash. What were your emotions? And we can't even talk about whose fault it was because there's two people who've done a lot.
Yeah. So Charles, when he tweeted, he called it a game of bowling, and to be fair, it was just bowling, wasn't it? Like, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? It was basically bowling. So we watched the match of bowling, you know, quick strike. Everyone was like scattered. And we're blinking. I just like you, Steph, I wanted to take a nap too. I literally went in, you know, today I didn't watch it on the big screen. I watched it on Now TV on my phone. And I did actually want to take a nap, but there was no point where I could take a nap. I was looking for little corners, and every time it just kept getting exciting. Yeah. So yeah, first lap was mad though.
Absolute madness. I think before we get into the stars and donkeys, which I think will kind of shape what we talk about in terms of the first lap incident, could we just get a shout out for Lewis Hamilton starting on his own on the grid?
Yeah.
I've never
seen that
again. That was crazy. Lights out and away we go for Lewis Hamilton only. That's crazy. I mean, let's get into now. But do you think he really? I was going to go in on Mercedes for not bringing him in, but there was a good point made by George Russell, kind of saying, look, if he'd come in, he's first in, everyone's coming in after him. If they tried to release him, either would have been an unsafe release, or you'd have to wait till everyone's kind of gone through and he would have come out behind everyone. So he would have lost places anyway. Kind of damned if he did, damned if he didn't. Steph, do you agree with that, or I guess do you think Mercedes? I guess should have come in.
Do you know what? I hadn't even thought about the fact that it would have ended up being an unsafe release. Because we had Kimi unsafe release and, knock out he who shall not be named, which, let's be honest, Kimi was really doing the Lord's work there. But yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. But that's a very smart idea. I mean, I guess if you're at the front of the grid anyway, you don't get the luxury of seeing what everyone else is going to do. And I think Mercedes did make the wrong call because at the end of the day, that was a almost surefire victory for Lewis because... Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen, and Valtteri Bottas were not in the race.
Yeah.
So, who is going to challenge him? Literally no one. And I'm actually really glad that Mercedes made the mistake and that Lewis, and they made that decision, whoever's decision it was, because it made the race so much more interesting. Like, there was actually stuff on the table. Like, there was interesting stuff going on. Lewis Hamilton had to make his way all the way from the back of the grid and prove that he's actually a good driver. Like, I love it when that happens, even though I don't. But I love it when Lewis actually has to be like, oh yeah, I can actually drive. I am in the best car. This is a circuit that's notoriously difficult for overtaking, but I'm going to make those overtakes and I'm going to get back to the front of the grid and I'm going to be on the podium. So he literally silenced everyone with this drive today. I think he drove absolutely fantastically, and I'm glad that he was at the back because it made it, the stakes were a lot higher and it made it more interesting. So yeah, thanks Lewis.
Yeah, I do always hate when Lewis has to do this thing where he has to prove to everyone, because really and truly, those who know, and we never have to question him. I've been telling you people, every time you watch Lewis race, you're watching like a superhero, because we can't just keep going back to this whole debate, is it the car, is it the driver, because we know, do you know what I mean? But when he does prove the haters wrong continuously, it's a satisfying taste in my mouth, and I like it. It's great TV as well.
It really is. It really is. I guess whilst we're on the subject of Lewis, let's talk about Thandie. I'll come to you and then I'll come to you, Steph. In terms of qualifying and the boos, where do you stand on booing in F1 and I guess the booing of Hamilton himself?
So in terms of booing, did it shock you guys that he was booed by the Hungarians?
Not at all.
I expected it because the Hungarian fans are all he who shall not be named fans. Verstappen.
No, we weren't naming him.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all his stands. So, and the way the media have actually played, like, we've been watching it throughout the week, haven't we? We've seen people take different sides, but I knew for a fact the entirety of Europe would have took Max's side, which we expect as black people. We already know how Guan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to see them booing him, I think Lewis definitely expected it, but I do not advocate for booing at all in sport. Like, I just think, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? But there's some people who do. But Lewis is definitely strong, and I think he definitely took it like my haters and my motivators. And I knew I was going to come on the podcast, but I did tweet the video that said, do not listen, like, he's gonna fuck your boy tomorrow. If anyone has seen that video, I was dying, right? So I just it was expected.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was expected. So yeah.
Steph, I expected it as well, to be honest. I can't say I didn't expect it. I guess we haven't podded. When we podded after Silverstone, it was at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. So obviously we were pretty gassed, and obviously there's a lot of clips that have gone around. We don't apologize for any of it. But we obviously haven't discussed the fallout from Silverstone, and I think we'd seen Max's post and we'd seen the Christian Horner comment. I don't think the racism
stuff was happening.
Yeah, stuff was happening, but we hadn't seen like the racist comments that had come out, and then obviously the fallout from that and everything. I guess, do you think Red Bull management? Lewis mentioned the Red Bull management has, he said, I think the guys at the top of that team have basically caused this pylon. I think Toto said something similar, and the appeal, we haven't podded since the appeal happened, and all of the things associated with that. Do you think Red Bull had a part to play in this, or do you think that the rivalry was always going to result in what's happened in the past couple of weeks?
Do you know what? It's a little combination of both, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, Lewis, after every race, it doesn't matter what he does, he's always going to get those comments. He's always going to have those people that come at him for whatever he does. Man could crash out of the race and people would still be like, haha, Lewis Hamilton, insert racist comment here. So that's going to happen after anything. So that would have happened regardless, but the way that Red Bull have actually handled this, I just find so infuriating. And the worst comment that I saw was the other day when Christian Horner was literally speaking to Simon Lazenby, and he was talking about the racist abuse that Lewis had faced, and then he was like, no, well, Max has had abuse as well. And I was like, no, Christian, babe, it ain't the same thing. Hun.
Christian, brother.
That was the bit that was the most infuriating for me. And I was like, you cannot even own up to what you've done. He was like, yeah, we put out a message condoning racism. It's like, oh, well, thank you for single-handedly eliminating racism from Formula One. Thank you, Christian, for your generosity. So I appreciate that message so much. But yeah, I just think the guys at the top of Red Bull have... The way that they've been going about this, I just think is wrong. And all it's doing is fueling that little orange army to go and run their mouths off all the time, because Max doesn't get any consequences for his actions. So why would the Dutch army think that they're going to get any consequences to their actions? I mean, it's just not happening. So we're going to continuously see this for the rest of the season now, and I think this race as well has set a precedent. I'm not looking forward to going to the Netherlands in September. I think we're going. I'm not looking forward to it. I feel like that is literally just going to be a giant pile-on, an excuse for everyone to absolutely shit on Lewis. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, we the next race is Belgium. That's going to be super Max heavy as well. And then you've got Zandor. We've got 2 in a row of very heavy Dutch fan races. It's not going to be pretty, to be honest. Thandie.
I think the way Red Bull discussed and kind of controlled the whole racist. I think, okay, for those who do not know what happened, there were a series of screenshots from a Red Bull team group chat, and it was just basically, what can I say? It was the comments, guys.
I can't even remember what they were now, but it was basically
racist stuff, referencing a mixed race person who they clearly all hated. Now, what I do not like about the situation is Red Bull are treating this like a one-off situation. No, you guys were only sad you guys got caught. That was the one incident you guys got caught, which tells me this has been going on for a while now. Because if that guy was comfortable to say it in the group chat, it means everyone else was saying it. He was just the one who got caught. That's the point. That's what pissed me off about this situation, because you can't just bring out a statement and say, sorry, we fired him, because it's an institutional thing. It's clearly in the entire row of all you man. All you man were saying it in the group chat. That's your boy. So if that's your boy, that's your whole entire agenda. So the whole thing, when we're talking about Lewis and Max and the race and what happened in Silverstone, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than rap. It's bigger. When Christian Horner is chatting about, Lewis is this and they're trying to bring him down, it's bigger than that, which makes me think that Red Bull is a very stinky team, and it stinks, mate. It's very stinky. I was getting so infuriated. I was on the phone to Nyasha and I said, when did this come out? When did this happen? How did I not see this? This is disgusting. And that's why we have platforms like On the Chicane, freaking Quick Stop F1, people who, black people who clearly want to talk about what's going on and have a voice for Lewis and tell you that, do you know what, we're not happy with just a statement because we know there's more going on.
Bang. Wow.
That's it.
Thandie, thank you so much. I think...
I've been bringing it.
No. I mean...
You've been waiting for this one.
I was waiting.
No, for sure. And I think... I think it's really, really important. I think it's really important, man. And I think it's really cool having you on, Steph, and being able to, because there was a list of creators that I sent to Thandie in terms of I was like, before we started and you were on it, as like one of those people, and it's really important for us to, because I feel like, although, you know what, we get F1 Twitter, but there are a lot of people who are aware of kind of, you know, the optics of what Red Bull did, the language that Red Bull used, and you know why it's wrong. But there's also a lot of people who aren't, and it takes people like us to be saying things and to be speaking up and using our platforms. It's really important. You know, for what it's worth, I found it, yeah. I mean, hard to top what you said, Thandie. I found it really, at best, clumsy from Christian Horner. The last 2 weeks, I think I tweeted that, you know, we're watching Red Bull crumble it over one crash to support Max, you know, just to make it look like they're backing Max. They have called Lewis Hamilton all kinds of words to insinuate that he is not as skillful, that he's not as courteous, that he's callous as a driver, he's careless as a driver. He was willing to put someone in hospital. He was, you know,
put him as aggressive.
So
when your driver is Verstappen.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's mad. So I think, I guess from us on, you know, the whole 2 weeks, and yeah, of course we all want to leave it behind. But it definitely left a very bitter taste in the mouth. So yeah, and to be fair, there's a reason why Karen Horner was trending like throughout the last 5 days. Like it was just, it was absolute madness after madness from Red Bull. But you know, they had a bad race last week. They're probably coming into this race thinking, you know what, it's okay, it's only one race. Goes around, comes around, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah. Gotta run your mouth. You gotta run your mouth.
Should have been talking shit.
You're gonna talk shit. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. I'm not saying.
Clown shit. The clown comes back.
It really does. And you know, I've got no apologies in saying that. Exactly. Look, let's come off of Karen and let's go on to the stars of the day. There are so many drivers that we could choose in this section.
Yeah.
So Steph, as the guest, you get to go first. Who was your star of the day? Yeah.
Oh, there's actually quite a lot of them. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna give it to my boy Nicholas Latifi, because you guys don't even know, but I love Niki with my whole heart, and I don't even know what it is about him. I just really like him. Do you know what? Can I give it to a team? Can I just give it to Williams? I'd like it to be Williams, just in general. Because when I heard that radio message from George that was like, if you need to sacrifice my race for Niki, I'll do it. I was like, George, I don't have the emotional stability for this. And I'm just so happy that both of them scored points. Williams, 6 points they took home. I'm not even going to come on to the subject of the fact that George might end up being disqualified, because I just don't want to think about it right now. But both of them, I just thought they drove so well. No, don't. I could potentially fall apart. But yeah, I'm proud of Williams. Good job today. You're my star.
Steph's star of the day.
Love it.
They did really well. It's been coming, hasn't it? Obviously, George has been knocking on the door a few times. Latifi's race pace has actually been quite close to George's. It's just his one lap pace, obviously, is nowhere near George's. But I think it's a bit of a sweet irony. It happened with Robert Kubica as well when he was at Williams, and he managed to get the only points of the season that year and kind of beat Russell in the standings. And it would be quite ironic if no more points were scored and Latifi finished ahead of Russell in the year that he potentially goes to Mercedes. But what a performance from Nicholas Latifi and from Williams. Thandie, how people are tweeting us saying your boy scored points, and that was to Quickstop F1, of which you are a part of. So that means your boy, George Russell, scored points. How are you feeling?
Listen, I give accolades where accolades are due. Do you know what I mean?
Accolades.
And you know what? I was tweeting it throughout and I said, where are you guys? I'll give you what you will get you guys accolades. He needs for accolades, yeah.
Oh, okay, no, then posh ones.
Yeah, bless him. Saw him shedding a few tears as well. I said, oh, George.
I'm going to make that video into so many memes. Oh my God.
Man was crying. I said, oh, bless you. A long way to go, George. Welcome to the game, George.
Has he just been holding that crying? No, come on. I want to know now. How long was he holding that cry?
How long were you holding that tear?
He's out of the car, he was showered, he was changed. and he's crying. But he gets to the camera, oh, it's all too much. What do you mean, George?
George, you okay?
You've had 20 minutes to process it, George. What are you crying for? I'm sorry, Steph.
He knows how to play the game, innit?
No, look.
But welcome to the game, George.
You are insinuating that those tears, crocodile tears from my boy, George. No, I'm not having it.
No, look.
All I'm saying is thank you for joining us. Where the hell have you been? Your seat is over there. Go sit down. So I'm happy for George.
Okay, George, yeah.
If we're talking about stars for me personally, I do have several as well. And in no particular order, George actually is in my little...
Okay.
He's there.
He's in your little... For those on Spotify, Thandie's made little... You know when someone's about to like let a dove go and they're just cupping it and then they're just letting it fly? That's the motion Thandie's done.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I do have him in there. Go on, Joe.
Be free. Go forth.
Be free. You know what I mean? He might come lucky again.
Okay. Oh my God.
Would he have done that if the bowling incident didn't happen?
No, for sure.
I won't bring that up though, because we won't have that conversation. Let's just be happy for a minute.
We're happy for him. We're happy for George. Big points.
Yeah, big points. Exactly. I think the bowling incident was definitely for the underdogs to be like, go. And I'll tell you the person who's my second champ, a young Yuki Tsunoda.
Okay.
I see light and I'm going to go.
Wow.
He said,
I liked it. No, for sure.
Yuki, great driving. My star boy though.
Okay. He's a star boy.
Valtteri Bottas.
Oh my God. You're going to get us cancelled, okay?
Man single-handedly made that race interesting, to be fair.
Valtteri Bottas carried that race on his back. That race would have been boring without Valtteri's move. He knew what he had to do.
Wow.
Valtteri Bottas retired from carrying the entire grid of 20 drivers. That's why he retired.
Stop. The man took a bullet for the team.
Oh my God.
Tonight he will eat well.
He gave up. He shot some bullets as well. He was taking people out
he
like
was,
a sniper.
What happened? He just, I'm going to do it. And he did it.
He did it.
A real soldier. We salute you, Valtteri. We salute you.
I am... Oh man! If the Verstappen fans find this podcast this week,
oh god, finished. They're coming for me.
After last week, they started finding us, and if they find it this week,
you better run. You better run.
Yeah, 100%. Right? It's gonna be open season.
I ain't scared of no ghost.
What I was going to say was Verstappen said that he got taken out by Mercedes again, which is technically incorrect because of McLaren, but we get the point. I guess I guess whilst we're the subject of Valtteri, how do you think, someone tweeted us, do you think that a 5-place grid penalty was enough, or do you think it was fair?
I think it was fair. That shit was his fault. We know damn well that was his fault.
Do you not think it could have been a 10-place grid penalty?
I think it was fair.
You think it was fair? Yeah?
Nah, what are you dropping him 10 places for?
Because he took out, like, five men.
He only took first hit.
He only took out 3 drivers.
You could argue the first... Yeah, the first hit made impact, and then other people panicked and kind of caused the whole commotion. So really and truly, I think 5 is fair because everyone else panicked.
Do you want to know what my dad said? My dad was like, Bottas, he's on his way to the steward's room right now. He's like, I only took out 1 guy. He was like, yeah, 4 may have retired as a result, but like, I only touched Norris. It was like, it's only one. That's a 5-second penalty tops. What are you dropping me 5 places for? But no, I do think it's fair. I think that's exactly what I think that's fair. Stroll got the same penalty. He only took out 2 other drivers. So I think
yeah.
What was
Bottas will probably be stuck.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
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 What was the comparison that you made, Nyasha, on Twitter? You said he's like a school kid from where?
He was sat on the tyres, yeah?
Yeah.
He was just sat on the tyres, and it just reminded me of when school used to call my parents and tell them that I've been fucking around at school. And so I would like deliberately take the long way home or like sit in the park just so I didn't have to go home. The way he was sitting on the tyres with his helmet on, just sat there like, I'm in so much trouble. I'm fucked up.
My mom would be like, did anything happen at school today, Thandie? And I'd be like,
man.
no.
Huh? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, look, Valtteri. I feel sorry for Valtteri in that he's actually had like a pretty decent run of races. He was good in qualifying, but it comes down to this thing. We have said on this podcast from day one, his racecraft is poor. It's so poor. He gets not that he ever has accidents. I'm not saying he has accidents, but if he's behind someone, he struggles to get past. Invariably, off the line in the rain, I don't think I can remember him slicing through or like doing really well off the line in the rain.
Valtteri Bottas is one of the worst drivers on the grid when it is wet. He is awful.
Yeah.
I will cast your mind back to Turkey 2020 and how awful he was for the entirety of that race. I can't watch that race actually because every time I see him do a spin, I actually break down. It actually feeds into the serotonin that is pumping through my brain. And I'm like, that shit's funny. So yeah, Valtteri Bottas. I never thought he was going to have a good. He was never going to have a good race today.
No, he. Yeah, I guess. Look, we've talked about George. We've talked about Valtteri. I feel like we have this conversation every week, but we might as well because we're at the summer break now. Based on their performances this season, who should Toto Wolff put in the Mercedes seat for next season?
George Russell. You're welcome.
So beautiful.
That was very tuneful.
Round of applause for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, fair. I agree. Thandie, after you.
Go on then, give it to George then.
Hey.
Go on then. So I can get on the podcast and talk about it. Go on then.
I think if it was close, I think if it was close, I think today has probably probably swung it in George's favour, to be honest. I think if the title fight is going to be close, I think we've got a glimpse into what 2022 could be like if all the teams are close, if there's potential for mixed up grids after sprint races. And
guys, no, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Sebastian Vettel has actually just been disqualified.
Did he get Is he been disqualified?
Guys, I'm really sorry that.
Yes, because people were coming at me. Oh gosh, let me tell you now. People were coming at me. People like, oh, you need to eat your words. Hey, I am not. Hey, them words that I'm regurgitating them.
Does that mean Lewis gets second place then?
Lewis is up to second place. Oh gosh. We're back, baby.
Back, baby.
We're back, baby. Oh, Steph, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, we should be pretty sad.
We should be really sad for
But George also stopped. What if George gets disqualified too?
Yeah, I was going to say, George.
No, but I feel like, Vettel's been here for a few years now.
So
he's tough, right?
He's all right. Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
He's tough, right?
He'll be fine. I'm looking at some of the comments on Twitter. Oh, it is.
Is it blowing off? They love him on Twitter, man.
They love my guy. Him. It's crazy. And look, we've got someone here who loves him. Steph, give us a live reaction. Sebastian Vettel was one of the best drivers today. Like Ocon the whole way.
I'm really upset. I don't know what to. I'm actually really upset. This man has been so lovely all weekend, been walking around in his rainbow pride stuff, and I've been like, I'm proud of you, Sebastian. Cool. I'm proud of you. Do you know what? I never even liked him that much. And then last year, I just think he became a really, really likable guy, and now I just love him so much, and I think that he just deserves the world. And he's never going to win a fifth world championship. All these people on Twitter out here being like, Seb's not past it. He is past it. Man's not going to win another one. But we could have a nice Sebastian Vettel podium once in a while. Let's have him happy. But now they've taken it away. And I'm upset. But I'll get over it. I need George to keep his points as well. Yeah. If George keeps his points, then I'll be fine. But right now, I'm on the edge of sanity.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That George Russell 9th place is looking shaky. That guy stopped on the racetrack. That guy stopped on the racetrack. He ran out of fuel just like Sebastian Vettel. So, man, if he doesn't get those points after he's cried as well, that is going to be a madness. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. After that performance,
I can't do this
on
anymore.
The track and in the pen, if he doesn't get any points, let me tell you now, the fan cam I'm gonna make for George Russell.
This guy,
because they actually kill me. They are so.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I'm cooking. I am cooking. If you've got this form,
do you want to know what this means as well? Sorry to interrupt again.
No, Steph.
Do you want to know what this means? That Carloz Sainz has now got another podium and hasn't actually been able to go on the podium to experience it.
I actually really feel sorry for Carloz. As I said last week, a few episodes ago, he needs
He's got bad luck, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But he's got good luck because he's on the podium again.
Yeah.
But that clip of him when he's got told he's going to the stewards.
I knew you were gonna talk about that clip.
Wow, it's so funny. I'll put it in the video.
How is so funny?
It is hilarious.
That clip is hilarious.
I love it so much. It's the fact that Will Buxton's acting like he's in some kind of reality TV show. And he's like,
sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
You've got to go to the stewards now. What for? Can we tell him? No, we can't tell him. He's just got to
go. Mate, so peak.
Unbelievable. Okay. My star of the day is wow, God, right. 1, Esteban Ocon. Jesus Christ. Esteban Ocon is my star of the day. I said a few episodes when we were talking about potential Mercedes drivers before all the contract stuff started coming out. I said he was a feature candidate for that seat because he is a really talented driver. I was so happy when he got his contract. I was really sad when it started going to shit for him after he got a contract. I was like, oh God, I really hope this isn't like a long-term trend. But Esteban Ocon, well fucking done. First win since ever.
GP3?
GP2, I think. GP2.
Great.
And I just think it was a great drive. He kept off Sebastian Vettel the whole time. And he just, I just think it's a really big moment for him. And I'm just really happy for him. I think it was an incredible drive. And now he kind of gets to be spoken about in the same levels that I think, I think it's hard to choose between him and Gasly at the moment in terms of that, I guess that little spot below Norris in terms of like the young drivers. If you were going to put Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris in kind of one, Russell maybe in one tier, and then below that maybe Gasly, Ocon. Who else is young and all right? That's it. Stroll will stick him somewhere else.
Sure.
But yeah, Stroll. I mean, Stroll. But anyway, what do you guys think of Esteban Ocon? Are you guys happy for him?
I'm really happy for Esteban. Really, really happy for him. I'd even go as far as saying I'm kind of... No, I'm not actually. Well done, Esteban. I was going to say I was kind of happy for Alonso, but I know he sat there just eating his pride, his meal. Like, ugh.
Oh, man.
Like, it's feeding his pride.
I mean, look, we're going to circle back to Alonso because I've got...
Yeah.
I've got some words for Alonso.
Yeah, I got words for him.
Although I will say on a driver level, drove very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Fernando. You did well. We'll circle back to you.
Nah, just don't even... Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Full stop.
I've got other words. But we'll go back to that. Steph, Ocon, where do you rank Ocon?
Oh, do you know what? I love Ocon. I love him. Do you remember when he was at Force India with Checo? I absolutely despised Checo. I was like, you're the villain. You kept a seat from this young boy who's worked hard, who has pace, who's a great driver. You kept your seat and you kicked him out of Formula One single-handedly. Even though it wasn't him, really. It was Lance Stroll. But, doesn't matter. I didn't like Checo. I was like, I'm on the Ocon hype train. And then Ocon came back and I was like, oh, I'm so happy for you, Ocon. And then he got his second plate. Wait, was it second? I think it was a second at Sakir. And I was like, yes, Ocon. And then I was like, yes, you've got a contract renewed. And then today I was like, you cannot hang on to the lead of this race. I was like, Ocon, I do rate you as a driver, but there's no way you can keep Sebastian Vettel behind you. And he proved me wrong, and he did. So I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. The good working hard boy, working class man from France. He's gone all the way up.
Yeah.
He's now Grand Prix winner, and I'm happy for him. Very happy.
Yeah, man.
I bet he's actually a really nice fella as well. So that's all a bonus.
Yeah, no one really ever has a bad word for him in the paddock. Yeah. Everyone's... And, look, if Toto Wolff is willing to take
Max
Verstappen, you can't be a bad guy. Oh, yeah, of course. To be fair, though, now, on reflection, I love him for that. I absolutely... Like, now I know who Max Verstappen is. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Tell him he's a prick. Someone needs to tell him he's a prick. So that's my view on Esteban. I'm gonna go first with my donkey of the day.
Please.
Obvious ones, Bottas, Stroll. I don't know if you guys want to pick them. That's fine. They're for you. I'm gonna go with Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso. I'll tell you why. I just don't like Fernando Alonso. I don't like him. Don't like him, Steph.
Said that.
Don't like him.
Get in on him.
Don't like him. I just cannot stand him. And the ego on this guy. Oh, I just hate him. I hate him so much. Not only, okay, I'm happy for Ocon, great drive. He's stopped through great driving. He's a great driver, whatever. Like an epic Hamilton victory. Like if Hamilton was able to get past him, that is like an all-time, probably the best Hamilton victory we've ever seen.
Yeah.
He stopped that. I'm a bit annoyed about that. What I'm mostly annoyed about is the constructive criticism that he tried to give Hamilton in the interview afterwards. Like, oh, he wasn't really taking the correct lines through the last corner. I don't really know how he couldn't get past me. Like, hey, bruv, like, humble yourself. Like, no one does that. No one goes, yeah, I don't really know why he couldn't get past me. Maybe he should have like taken some different lines. No one does that. And then he said, oh, I kept him behind for Max after everything that's happened this week. It just smells. It smells just like all the smelly shit he's done in the past. I haven't forgiven him for it. So for me, Alonso's my donkey of the day. He did really well. Those was 10 incredible laps of racing between Hamilton and Alonso, and I don't want to take anything away from him for that. I just don't like him. And I don't know if people know on this podcast, I run it with Thandie. Do whatever the fuck I want. So
what do you want? He doesn't like him.
Exactly. If you want clinical, technical analysis, that's it. It's not going to be here. So yeah, no, that's my donkey of the day. Sorry. I'll go Thandie, then I'll go Steph. Thandie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Mine was also Alonso. My angle is that I just felt like the whole, obviously in light of what happened last week, I know the drivers are very bitchy anyway, and I feel like Alonso, of all people, is one person who will never take Hamilton's side due to history. And I just feel like that whole thing was personal. It was him feeding his own ego. It's very clear why Alonso came back to this sport, guys. Like, we've been talking about, like, why did he come back? He's come back because he wants to be this pillar where he can turn around and say, yes, I'm losing, but look how much they're learning from me. I'm still do you know what I mean? Like, it was just feeding his ego.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, just move out the way. Everyone else, Yuki moved out of respect. I know Yuki's got respect. Alonso, it's just feeding his ego, and it just makes me ill. And then, as you said, that interview, he was, what did he call him? He was like, Hamilton loves, he said something mad, which pissed me off as well. Yeah. Like, what are you still doing here, mate? Like,
yeah, I still think he's taking up a seat.
Great driving.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Let's separate it.
And separate his ego and just him being an absolute prick, and just take him as a single driver who defended his teammate very well.
Yeah.
Accepted that, I'm not going to make it to podium, so let me at least, defend our team. Brilliant from him. Absolutely fantastic. Him as a person, him as a sportsman, questionable. I don't get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I must say, before I get to you, Steph, great work by the Alpine strategy team today. I think they played it perfectly with how they left Alonso out for a bit longer. The tyres really helps. You saw how Hamilton zoomed past Sainz. Alonso had much fresher tyres, I think, which is like negated to be discussed. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder to overtake him. Everyone else had pitted quite early, whereas Alonso stayed out, I think, the latest out of the top 5. So he was always going to be a lot more difficult to overtake, but Alpine did a great job there because they kept him out to ensure that Ocon could be protected. So well done to Alpine.
Yeah.
Great strategy from you guys. Steph. Actually, hold on, wait. Yeah, so it was yours is Thandie, yours is Alonso, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Steph. Talk to me.
Yeah, mine's whoever's chilling at Alfa Romeo. Whoever's letting these boys speed in the pit lane, and whoever is letting these boys have their unsafe release in the pit lane and then ruining their races. Because you know what? The Alfa Romeos actually had a lot of pace this weekend, so I'm actually quite upset for them because they could have actually had a really good race. Kimi Raikkonen was doing absolute bits before, he got ruined. So I'm actually quite disappointed at just Alfa Romeo. I'm sorry, they're all donkeys. All of them. Well, sorry, maybe not all of them. But whoever was in charge of all of that stuff that was going on. Antonio Giovinazzi, don't speed. You know you're not supposed to speed. So don't do it. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's who I'm going with. Won't go with the obvious ones of Bottas and Stroll because that was just very poor driving, obviously.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? Yeah, Alfa Romeo were coming like Haas this weekend. I mean, like just amateur hour, like super amateur hour. It was just for you to unsafe release someone so bad that it literally retires another car. Like that is just ridiculous, man. I mean, luckily it was, it's Mazepin, so we don't really give a shit. But but at the end of the day, he's still done it, and I just think that is just really poor, really, really poor. That is all the donkeys. Anyone else got any other bits?
Max Verstappen when he hit Mick Schumacher.
Yeah.
We were thinking the same thing there. We were on the same wavelength.
You are on the same.
What are you guys' thoughts on Mick this weekend?
Ooh, I think he showed both sides of his development at the moment. I think he's still very raw, but I think when you saw him in combat, his wheel-to-wheel racing, I think he's shown it a couple times this season as well. Maybe Imola, I wouldn't say. I can't remember, but there was another race where he was racing with other cars. And I think it might be in Portugal. But yeah, I just think that he is really talented, but I mean, he did it in every category he was in. Like he would have a year where it was like a bit clumsy. He was getting used to it, and then the second year he would just be incredible. So I think it's more pronounced in F1, but he needs to cut out the crashes and hopefully get more wheel-to-wheel racing. But that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Mick. I think this weekend he had my eye. He caught my eye, and I do like him as a driver. And can we also note that Mick was the first driver to put out a statement that wasn't just written by a PR, but was actually written by himself when Lewis was receiving racist abuse. So he's an ally too, guys. Oh. So
yeah, Mick Schumacher, the biggest ally.
What do you think of Mick?
Yeah, man.
I love Mick so much.
Yeah.
When I was at Silverstone last week, I was literally screaming. I was the only person in the grandstand that every time Mick would go past, I'd just be like, "Go!" And everyone was just looking at me like, "Why?" And they were just like, "Why?" And I was like, "It's because this dude is lovely. He's honestly one of the loveliest guys in the paddock. He's like Niki. I just think he's lovely. He's just lovely. He's wholesome. Brings me joy." And I think what we saw today was a tiny glimpse of what he'll be able to do in machinery that is capable of actually fighting with other cars and isn't just, a walking turd underneath him. So, fantastic job, Mick. Can't wait to see what you'll do in a couple of years when you're in that Ferrari.
When you're in the Rari!
Yeah.
Rari workout. Oh, God, do you remember that song?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Man, Bizzle, crying. we have come to the end of the review. We're at the summer break. So we've got 3 weeks, no F1 races. So who do you think, after, I'm not even halfway through the season yet, I think they said we've got 9 races in 11 weeks after the break, which is intense. But Steph, who needs a big second half of the season?
Sergio Perez.
Boom. Yep. Yep. Why is that?
That is because it's a bit up in the air whether he'll be on the grid next year. He could get an extra extension with Red Bull. I personally don't think any of the other Red Bull juniors are going to be ready to be in that Red Bull seat, so the only logical person you want to put in it is either Alex Albon or Sergio Perez. Now, it doesn't really make sense to put Albon back in it because we already know that Sergio has been performing to a much higher level, much higher standard than Albon was performing when he was in that Red Bull. However, if he keeps having god-awful weekends like he had at Silverstone, this weekend wasn't so much his fault, but Silverstone last weekend was not a great weekend for him. In the sprint race, obviously ended right back down at the back because he spun and then just was unable to get anywhere during the actual race. So, bad weekend for Sergio last weekend. If he keeps falling back like that, because there was one point where he was P3 in the championship, and that is exactly where Red Bull want him to be. And Red Bull are gunning for this Constructors' Championship this year. They have put every egg in their basket into 2021, and if they cannot pull out a result in 2021, then I don't know when the next time is that they'll actually have a chance for a championship, because we all know that they've been focusing heavily on this year and not the new regulations too, like some of the other teams have been focusing on. So it's all to play for Red Bull, and if Sergio Perez cannot be the second driver that Red Bull need, then he's going to be the person that ends up losing them the Constructors' title, and I would not want to be Sergio Perez in that situation because we all know what Red Bull is capable of. Yeah, he just needs to sort it out, be a little bit closer to Max, be there to pick up the points when Max isn't, like Silverstone. And yeah, I just think he needs to sort himself out. Yeah.
No, for sure, 100%. It's a funny one, Perez. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Perez is a great midfield driver. Do I think Sergio Perez is a top 2, top 3 team driver? No. Do I think Sergio Perez is better than Valtteri Bottas? No. I don't, and I don't even rate Bottas. But I don't get this feeling from Perez. You cut out and came back in, and all I heard was. So, what is your reaction to what I just said?
Sorry, I think I'm really laggy. So sorry, everyone.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What did you say?
Oh, I was just like, wow, I can't believe that you rate Perez. No, you rate Bottas higher than Perez, because I always thought that Checo was really, really strong in race pace, and I still believe that. I just think he's had a few dodgy races, but I would 100% rate Sergio Perez higher than Valtteri Bottas. I think he's been screwed over in his Formula One career. Like, he started off with McLaren right as they were just going downhill. So it was like, okay, you don't actually get a shot at top team, but like, he won in Baku. He was like in place to win, and do you know what? He would have actually won on track probably. No, because Red Bull screwed up his pit stop, if you remember, and it just so happened that they screwed it up. when Max was coming through. So I think it was a conspiracy to make sure that Max stayed in the lead and Sergio Perez did not end up in front of him. So, but we won't go into that conspiracy. But yeah, I just really rate Checo. I think he's the best second driver that you've got on the grid right now.
After you, Thandie.
Oh
no! I don't know what you want me to say to that.
I'm just trying to think about the last statement that's just been said there, and if I agree or not.
But before we get best second driver out of what the top?
We're saying it.
Out of what, the top 3 teams? Which?
Or we just saying the whole grid?
Yeah, he's the best second driver.
Yeah, the whole grid. Yeah, whole grid.
Okay, so let's go to Ferrari. Is Checo Perez?
Knew you were gonna do that. Knew you were gonna do that. Knew you were gonna do that.
Better than Carloz? Is he better than Carloz Sainz?
Well, how many race wins does Carloz have? None. How many race wins does Checo have? 1, 2.
Actually, he's got 2. Yeah. Okay. You okay? I'm gonna leave it, Thandie. I'm not good at this arguing stuff. She's making points that I'm not able to come to.
Good at arguing.
Well, no, I'm doing. I tried to make a point. She doused it. I tried to come with fire. She doused it with water.
I feel like does race wins prove that he's a good second driver? Is that what we're using as the measurement of good second driver? Race wins.
It's one metric.
We don't have to use that as the metric.
I feel it's one metric, but it's not.
It is one metric. We could use a whole bunch of metrics.
I feel like your statement isn't the most maddest statement, because if we were going to talk maybe top 3, they would maybe make top 3. But I do think there are duos like Ferrari who may not have both their drivers have amazing wins, but we definitely see great sportsmanship and coercion, if that's the word.
Coercion is not the word, no.
That's not it, is it? Oh my god!
Coercion, no.
That is not it. Isn't coercion like a fight?
Coercion is me like kind of forcing you to do something. It's like that's
well,
coercion.
we went into a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do feel like maybe they do work well together.
Yeah.
Better
compatibility.
Better than them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hear it. I definitely hear your statement. It's not the wildest. What would be wild is like saying Nikita Mazepin works well with freaking. That's crazy. But it's not the wildest, so I hear it still. I hear it.
No, look, I think I'm in agreement as well. It's not wild. Maybe I might want to take back the Bottas comment.
It's a bit of like a Nando's medium, but not on a good day.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So Thandie.
Yes.
Who needs a big second half of the season?
I have a list.
She has got a list.
She came prepared.
The Australian who needs his legacy to be better than Mark Webber's. Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Who else needs a great comeback season? George. Because now that you got the points, now that you're in the clubhouse, show us what you've bought.
You're so
What's in the rucksack? Yeah.
It's never enough. What more do you want from him? What more do you want? This guy is getting into Q3 twice. He's just got a point.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I just crave more.
Like, I feel like if George was your son, he'd be coming home with A's. He'd be like, it's not an A+. What are you doing in school?
What is this? So yeah, those are my top 3. I want to see better.
Okay.
Don't expect much from Nikita Mazepin. Just continue to look pretty and bring in the Russian money, I guess. Try not to hit everyone when you spin.
Is that your guy?
Man's not doing a very good job.
Is it the egg? Is the egghead? Is that what it's doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. Fair.
Nyasha, would you like to tell us?
I'll step in. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Everyone says you have to give Ricciardo more time, but if it's anyone else, we'd be on their arse. But okay, we'll give him more time.
You better.
Look,
I mean, I don't know if I'm actually arguing this.
If Ricciardo was Butters, he would not be getting the same chance that he is now.
If he didn't have that cute smile, you think
if he looks like Kane from wrestling, no one.
Kane from wrestling is kind of cute.
Well,
I don't know what he looks like.
Well, he's not. Let me tell you that now. He's Butters. He was awful. So I'm saying, like, if Daniel Ricciardo
didn't have
a pretty face and a charming personality,
and his
everyone would be
Australian accent.
Yeah, look at you.
And that cute smile. Maybe he wouldn't. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But look, we'll give him a play.
And I want to see. Oh. Sorry. It's your turn. I'm so sorry.
No. Who do you want to see?
I also want to see Lando do amazing stuff. Continue, broski. Because wow. I'm a Lando Norris stan, by the way, you guys. I've definitely certified my way in there. Like, yeah, I like.
You outside the hotel?
I'm not even outside the hotel. I'm penthouse suite. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, cool. No, you're same level. Same level. You're not with the riffraff that Sky keeps going on about. Sky really obsessed with the women waiting for Lando Norris outside the hotel.
Yeah,
would not stop. They're jealous, bruv. When a man is, you can tell a man is jealous.
Yeah.
If Lando got a new car, they'd be like, "Oh, you've seen the new car that Lando Norris
that Lando's driving.
I'm sure he can't afford that car." They're nosy neighbours, bro.
Yeah, they are. Sky, do you know who I'm enjoying at the moment? ESPN.
Oh yeah.
ESPN are doing amazing stuff on socials as well. They're savages. Love that from them.
Twitter, yeah, they're so funny on Twitter.
Really, I don't think I even follow it. That's really bad. Anyway.
Follow ESPN, they're savvy.
I will do.
You were saying
that makes me feel good because we can be savage, and then I'm like, huh?
We?
Pardon?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Nah, I'm terrible on Twitter nowadays. Anyway, Nyasha, you were saying?
I'm in agreement, to be honest. If I was going to say anyone, I mean, someone asked whether Valtteri Bottas's grid penalties is going to make it hard for him to come through the pack in Belgium, and whether that's going to affect whether Mercedes keep him on or not. But I think I said it's most likely that's going to be decided before the summer breaks over. So I just think whatever happens with Bottas, whatever the second half of the season is, I'm sure he'll have a look. I just think the longer they leave it, the more intense the questioning is going to get. And I just think...
But Mercedes I don't think Mercedes have ever been the kind of team that's just like, let me bin my driver halfway through the season. Not even halfway through the season. Like, let me just sack him off. Like, bye, Valtteri.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think we're going to see an answer until the Constructors is wrapped up. And I feel like we all know what it is. I feel like George knows man's going to be in that seat. But I feel like that announcement is not going to come. And that Valtteri Bottas is not going to be cut until like late on in the season. Like I'm thinking race 18 at the very earliest. I don't even know which race 18 is, but like I'm thinking late on in the season.
I think that's Nice. I think that's going to be around maybe like the double Austin race, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that time potentially. Well, look, we'll see. He needs a better half of the season. Then I would say that if he can get like a couple of wins, it changes everything. Even just not one, but if he had a lights to flag victory, I think it would, like at Belgium, or well, probably not Belgium, but at Zandvoort, maybe, then it would help him. But we shall see. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see. Look, that was a absolutely crazy race, and it was an absolute pleasure to have you on, Steph. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Loved having you. You're actually the first Northerner after myself on this podcast.
Can't believe I'm the first. We're halfway through the bloody season and I'm the first Northerner you've had on.
I was going to say, I feel like...
Who else did we have who was from up north?
Well, we had someone who shan't be named.
Yeah. Damn. My bad.
So right
You're the only one I acknowledge anyway.
But other than
Thank
you.
Person, appreciate it. Me too.
Yeah. So... but where can people find you on social media and YouTube? Because you've got a great YouTube channel as well.
You guys can find me AllAboutSteF1 everywhere on TikTok, Twitter, Insta. Come find me, come hang out with me. It's been a while since I've made any decent content, but there's a lot of vlogs for you to watch over the course of July if you'd like to go and indulge. So, but yeah, love to see some of you over there.
Wicked. Thank you so much, Steph. Thandie, any last words?
School's out, summertime.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
If you like, we're now on a hiatus.
Yeah.
For
hiatus, yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I'm outside. I think Nyasha's kind of outside. If you see us about, please say hello. Take a picture of us. I can't remember where I met someone who did listen to the podcast. I was definitely drunk. I don't know if they were gassing me though. It was in London.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you see us about, shout us. But please, I'm being serious about these Apple reviews, you guys. I'm being dead serious. I want to see Apple reviews, please.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do like a little campaign over the summer break. Let's get these Apples in.
Please.
If you're listening so far, thank you so much. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Spotify, Twitter, Insta. We're at over 1,200 on Twitter. I can't believe it. So many people are following us, and with more power, the sillier the account's going to get. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep.
The more you enable us to chat shit, the more
crazier we're going to get.
The fan cams are going to get more ridiculous.
Yeah.
The edit's going to get more ridiculous.
And I'll stop gatekeeping the tops, guys. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, no. Thandie's going to give up the details for the tops. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. I was like, this is bad PR.
I'm so sorry.
Like, people are going to unfollow us. They're going to be like,
Thandie's a bitch.
Thandie's a bitch. Oh,
she doesn't even tell us when to tell us that. No. You need to make the video so they know it's not my choice.
Well, people were calling you stunning and you were just airing it. I was like,
you need to tell them.
Fucking hell. Okay, but look, guys, we're going to get off. We will see you at the next Grand Prix in 3 weeks. We're going to take a little break now. Steph, thank you so much for coming on. Thandie, thank you for being you. We're going to go toodle pip. Goodbye. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Thandie. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.